How are you, everyone? My name is Teo Nam. I'm working for Sungkyunkwan University, Graduate School of Governance. This module, we will talk about AI policies of Korea. This chapter introduces AI-related national policies of Korea. There are various recent national initiatives driven by the Korean government. This chapter focuses on the national AI strategy and the Digital New Deal project. These two big initiatives, national initiatives, include various efforts to foster AI ecosystem and enhance the competitiveness of AI and successfully lead AI-based digital transformation in the public sector and of course the private sector. We have two objectives. First, you will understand Korean national strategies for AI, artificial intelligence. And second, you will understand the directions of national AI initiatives in terms of Korean Digital New Deal initiative. So we have three structures. First one is Korean national strategy for AI, and second theme is Korean Digital New Deal, and then I will summarize all this chapter. National AI Strategy. On December 17, 2019, all ministries of the Korean central government within the executive branch of the Korean government, including the Ministry of Science and ICT, jointly announced the National Strategy for Artificial Intelligence. National Strategy for AI, this is a very important big umbrella project or initiative of the Korean government. This national strategy seeks to boost the economy and improve living standards by 2030. So this is almost a 10-year project. Artificial intelligence has brought innovative changes across all areas of technology, industries, and the entire society. The National AI Strategy called for 100 action plans. So this strategy, national strategy, includes a variety of action plans, which are based on 9 overarching strategies to be implemented across 3 areas. There is a vision. The vision is titled Toward AI, World Leader Beyond IT. So you can catch the nuance beyond IT. So information technology or information communication technology. We are still using this technology very much. But we will go beyond IT era. And then we will come toward AI, artificial intelligence, or the intelligent society. And then sub-motto is AI for everyone and AI of everything. So everything can be connected and everything can be processed or transformed through AI. And the result is this AI exists for everyone. And core strategy and goals in 2030, innovation of AI competitiveness. For that goal, we have 4 projects: AI infrastructure enhancement, securing competitiveness in AI technology, and drastic regulatory innovation, regulatory reform, and nurturing global AI startups. So these 4 projects exist for establishment of global leading AI ecosystem. So the Korean goal, Korean government's purpose is world's 3rd largest digital competitiveness and open 45,000 sources of big data, different kinds of data set, and achieve 95% of AI technology competitiveness, and create one of the top 5 regulatory environments. This is the very big, ambitious goals. Full-scale utilization of AI. This is another the theme of the vision. full-scale utilization of AI. For that goal, Korean government will nurture world-best AI talent in educating people and diffusing AI technology across all industrial areas. And then Korean government will build the best performing digital government. Through these three initiatives, the Korea will be the country that makes best use of AI. And then another vision is harmony and coexistence with AI. AI is not the confrontation or conflict matter with person. Rather than that, AI is the material of coexistence with people, human beings. That is very important things, harmony. So establishing an inclusive job safety network and preventing dysfunction and establishing AI ethics. So this is very important keyword, realization of people-centered AI. So three major areas are ecosystem and utilization and people-centered. This is a very important key notion of the AI strategy. And the 9 major strategies, securing infrastructures and preparing AI ethics, and 100 major tasks of the AI strategy. There are very variety of tasks to be implemented nationwide. The future vision based on the national AI strategy, AI ecosystem and AI utilization and people-centered AI, there are many strengths, and to use those strengths, we have the strategy in detail, and then we have future vision. There are so many tasks in the major 3 areas, but I cannot read all 100 tasks, but I will focus on some selected focus on the key task. For example, we have 3 big goals. As I mentioned earlier, establishment of a global leading AI ecosystem. First one is ecosystem. Second theme, the country that makes best use of AI. Utilization is another keyword. The final keyword of the national AI strategy of Korea is people-centered. So realization of a people-centered AI. Each of a big theme umbrella goals, we have 4 main key projects. For example, AI infrastructure enhancement and securing competitiveness in AI technology and drastic regulatory innovation, nurturing global AI startups. This is for AI ecosystem. And AI utilization, best use of AI. So nurturing world best AI talent and educating people, and diffusing AI technology and building a best performing digital government. And finally, people-centered AI, inclusive job safety network, and preventing dysfunction and establishing AI ethics. Okay, I want to introduce some focused area. For example, AI infrastructure enhancement. Establishment of global leading AI ecosystem. AI infrastructure enhancement is very important direction of AI strategy. In 2019, 2022, and 2030, Korean government seeks for very important step up in terms of the infrastructure of AI, artificial intelligence. For example, on supply side, the public data and private data, open up the data as much as possible. That's a very important key direction. And the demand side, Korean government will expand social and industrial use. For example, these are key strategies: data voucher, and then AI voucher, and then data flagship. This is a kind of strategies booster the social and industrial use of the data. Another focused area is promotion of opening up data and reuse. For example, public data, the government-wide data platform. We just established this kind of platform, and this platform used the data about public administration, laws, industry, and employment. Any kinds of data can be collected and stored in this government-wide data platform. And private data, what about the private data? The Big Data Platform and Center was established. So this platform and center covers a variety of areas. For example, culture and logistics, healthcare and tourism, science and technology, education, industry. Any kinds of data can be stored and collected in this kind of big data platform and center. So the Korean government will strengthen the linkage between the public data and the private data maps. This is kind of the ways of this kind of strengthening linkage, data utilization, and integrated data search, and link between data and analysis and visualization of the data. The remaining time, I will talk about the Korean Digital New Deal projects. The Korean Digital New Deal project is a more recent initiative than the previous initiative, which was the National AI Strategy. The Korean Digital New Deal was the result of this kind of a SWOT analysis. For example, strengths, outstanding hardware infrastructure of Korea. For example, 5G network. This is a very important strength of Korea, and extensive archive of data exists in Korea. And opportunities from the environment. The country's, the Korean competitiveness in digital technology. This kind of competitiveness was reaffirmed through the COVID-19 pandemic season. That's good. But a little bit bad side or negative side is weakness. For example, the data utilization and network utilization and the utilization of AI in industries, education, and infrastructures is still low, not that high. That is weakness currently we identified. And threats of the Korean Digital New Deal, for example, Korean businesses in markets for AI and cloud computing is not really sufficient. This is an environmental threat. So the Korean government focus on these kind of 4 areas, among others. For example, stronger integration of DNA throughout the economy. Here, DNA means data, network, and then AI. Data, network, AI, DNA is very important keyword in Korea, abbreviation in Korea. And digitalization of education infrastructure, that is second focused area. And third area is fostering the untech industry. Untech is not really a formal English, but now this word is very prevalent in Korea. Non-contact is actually the better English, I think. Non-contact industry. Think about the COVID-19 years. 2 years we suffered from COVID-19, the pandemic. So non-contact industry is very important. And then finally, digitalization of social overhead capital, SOC. So these are focused areas of the Korean Digital New Deal project. Korean Digital New Deal project has vision. For example, the vision can be expressed as transformation. Simply saying, what kinds of transformation? The first one, from a fast follower to a leader of the world. And then from a carbon-dependent economy, for example, in manufacturing industry, to a green economy. And then from an unequal society to a more inclusive society. We have 3 ambitious visions. And then this New Deal, Korean New Deal, has 2 axes. For example, first one is Digital New Deal project, and then second one is Green New Deal. And then the convergence innovation will make stronger safety net. But we will focus on, in this module, Digital New Deal. Digital New Deal and the Digital and Green had 7 projects, but we will focus on AI government. Why AI government is gains attention from the Korean New Deal projects? Because Digital New Deal consists of 3 big items: data dam, and AI government, and smart healthcare. So AI government is one of them, the very important key areas of the Korean Digital New Deal projects. AI government. Totally, Digital New Deal has 12 projects. Among these 12 projects, some of them are really related to AI government concept. For example, strengthen data network AI ecosystem. So, for example, 5G and AI convergence and AI-driven intelligent government, and digitalize education infrastructure, digital-driven educational infrastructure, K-12 schools, promote non-contact industry, for example, remote work in small and medium-sized enterprises, and smart healthcare infrastructure, and e-business and micro businesses, and digitalize SOC, digital management framework for key infrastructure, and promote digital innovation of urban and industrial spaces, and build a framework of smart logistics. So this is a 12 key projects. AI-related milestones of the Korean New Deal projects since 2017 December and currently. The first footstep was AI Hub. AI Hub is provision of integrated AI infrastructure through AI Hub. And then 2018 May, Korean government set up AI R&D strategy. And then 2018, the training data was opened. And then 2019 January, strategies for activation of data and AI economy was announced. And 2019 December, Korean government expands opening of training data. And then 2020 July, comprehensive plan for Korean Digital New Deal was pronounced. This is a simple illustration of DNA ecosystem, data, network, and AI. So through 5G network, data collection, using 5G network, Internet of Things, any sensors and robots, and then those data will be stored and processed. And then using AI, data can be utilized and created. This is a simple map. And these are, for example, the possible areas of AI ecosystem. For example, autonomous or self-driving cars, fine dust reduction in Korea, smart factory, intelligent crime analysis, energy conservation. Any kinds of purpose can use the AI system. And then big data platform is a very important part of data dam initiative. Big data platform, database AI training, and AI convergent project. For example, AI convergent projects, it can be expressed AI plus X. X means anything. So AI convergent project. These 3 things are very heavily related to the Digital New Deal using AI for data, network, AI ecosystem. Big data platform has 3 goals. For example, data collection, and data processing, and data utilization. Building data for AI training, for example, building data AI learning and enhance the development of application service, and then development of data and creation of jobs. These are very important activities using AI training data. Building database for AI training through crowdsourcing methods, and then creating AI-related jobs. So this kind of big project can create new jobs because this initiative can use a crowdsourcing approach. The project of building AI training data, this project builds and reads 150 categories of AI training data on major policy areas. And this is cloud-based AI platform. 2021, this year, this project improves AI Hub as a cloud-based platform and enables the use of AI data without downloading in the cloud. Okay, this is time for a summary of these two big projects of the Korean government. The first one, National AI Strategy. This strategy is the strategic directions of AI government in the midterm and the long-term horizon. And this strategy addresses various issues such as AI promotion, AI regulation, and education about AI. And this national strategy is a connection among existing and rising issues related to AI. And the important thing is the role of government in fostering the AI ecosystem. Government is the only sole actor for that kind of activities, fostering AI ecosystem. And Korean Digital New Deal. Digital transformation is a convergence with digital and non-digital things. Digital things and non-digital things. This is a convergence. Digital transformation is not only purely digital things. This is a convergence. Convergence is a very important keyword of the Digital New Deal project. And AI, we need to think about AI as we need to consider AI as a key driver to government innovation in the present. And the important thing is an umbrella national policy overarching multi-dimensional policies across various domains. This is a summary of these two big projects of Korea. Thank you for your attention. See you at the next class. Thank you.